For over 1 billion people around the world, the Quran is far more than just a book. It's revered as the literal word of God, a divine message that has shaped lives, cultures, and civilizations for centuries. Its verses are recited daily, memorized by heart, and cherished as a source of guidance and inspiration. This sacred text has been preserved with remarkable care for over 14 centuries, surviving the passage of time and remaining unchanged in its original language. Beyond its spiritual and moral guidance, many scholars and enthusiasts see in the Quran a marvel of mathematical precision, a hidden architecture of numbers and patterns that continues to intrigue and invite modern analysis. The journey into this fascinating numerical landscape begins with the Quran's own description of itself, a book that is consistent and repeating, known as Mathani. This term suggests a structure built on cycles, pairs, and mirrored patterns, hinting at a deeper underlying order. The Mathani theory proposes that this repetition and symmetry is not random, but deeply mathematical, intricately woven into the Quran's chapters, verses, and even the individual letters themselves. Could a text from the 7th century truly contain a sophisticated mathematical design, one that only becomes fully visible with the help of modern analytical tools and technology? This intriguing question invites us to explore further. So, let's approach the Quran as a structured data set, searching for hidden patterns, symmetries, and numerical relationships, not to prove or disprove faith, but to experience the thrill of discovery and the wonder of uncovering new layers of meaning. This is the place where spirituality and mathematics intersect, where ancient wisdom meets modern curiosity, and where our quest for meaning finds a new, unexpected frontier, inviting us all to look deeper and think differently. The Mathani theory is built on the digits 1 through 9, the atoms of arithmetic. It suggests the Quran's structure is based on these numbers and their relationships, forming a repeating, deliberate design. The core mechanism, digital roots. Add the digits of any number until you get a single digit, 1 through 9. This method, applied to the Quran's chapters, verses, and word counts, uncovers consistent patterns. Just as DNA's 4 letters encode life's diversity, the Quran's vastness is built on a simple numerical foundation. As cosmic detectives, we use basic tools, counting, adding, reducing, to explore one of history's most influential texts. The hypothesis, a hidden mathematical symphony lies within, encoded in the very structure of the Quran. The journey is into the arithmetic of the sacred. Some of the most striking patterns in the Quran are simple word counts that mirror cosmic cycles. These patterns are not just coincidences. They seem to be woven into the very fabric of the text, inviting us to pause and reflect on their significance. For example, the word for day appears exactly 365 times, matching the number of days in a solar year. This precise alignment with the calendar is both fascinating and thought-provoking, suggesting a deliberate connection between the Quranic text and the natural order of time. Similarly, the word month is found 12 times, echoing the 12 months that structure our year. These numerical echoes are like subtle reminders of the harmony between scripture and the universe. The opening chapter, Al-Fatiha, contains 7 verses. These are known as the 7 oft-repeated verses, a phrase referenced within the Quran itself. This repetition forms the foundation of daily prayers, reinforcing the importance of these numbers in spiritual practice. These numbers aren't hidden, they're direct, verifiable, and serve as entry points into deeper numerical worlds. Anyone can count them, making these patterns accessible to all who are curious. The Mathani system builds on the sum of digits. 1 through 9 add up to 45, whose digital root is 9. This simple calculation forms the basis for more complex explorations of Quranic structure. Proponents find that chapter and verse groupings often sum to 45 or its multiples, as if the structure is mathematically signed. These recurring totals suggest a hidden order, a signature embedded within the text. These correspondences invite us to look deeper. If such patterns exist on the surface, what lies beneath? Could there be even more intricate relationships waiting to be discovered? They're the first notes of a grander composition, hinting at a meticulously crafted vessel for the message. The interplay of numbers and words creates a symphony that resonates through time. Here, the exploration moves from simple counts to the relationships between numbers. Each discovery opens a new chapter in understanding, inviting us to see the Quran not just as a book of guidance, but as a marvel of mathematical artistry. Certain numbers, 19, 37, and 57 act as structural pillars in the Quran's numerical universe. These numbers are not chosen at random. Rather, they seem to be woven into the very fabric of the text, guiding its structure and hinting at a deeper underlying order. 19, a prime number, is highlighted in chapter 74. Over it are 19. This explicit mention has intrigued scholars and mathematicians for centuries, prompting them to search for patterns and connections throughout the Quran. Analysts found the Quran has 114 chapters, 19 times 6, and the first revealed verse has 19 words. This repetition of 19 is not isolated. It recurs in various forms, suggesting a deliberate design that extends beyond mere coincidence. 37, another prime, is mathematically linked. The sum of the first 37 integers is 703, or 19 times 37. This connection between 19 and 37 adds another layer of intrigue, as if the numbers are speaking to each other across the text. Patterns based on these numbers appear throughout the text as if they're gears in a celestial clock. Each number seems to play a role in maintaining the balance and rhythm of the Quran's structure. 57, the sum of 19 and 37, is also 3 times 19. This dual relationship, both additive and multiplicative, further cements its significance within the numerical framework of the Quran. The Quran's 114 chapters split into two halves of 57, with mirrored properties. This symmetry is not just mathematical. It reflects a sense of balance and harmony that permeates the entire text. These three numbers form a foundational triad, a mathematical signature suggesting a design of coherence and balance. Their interconnections hint at a purposeful architecture, as if the text itself is encoded with meaning at every level. The interplay of 19, 37, and 57 weaves a web of interlocking patterns, reinforcing the idea of intentional structure. These patterns are not always obvious, but when uncovered, they reveal a tapestry of mathematical precision. This triad is not just a curiosity, it's a recurring motif that shapes the Quran's architecture. The repetition and symmetry found in these numbers echo throughout the text, inviting deeper exploration. Their presence challenges us to consider whether such precision could arise by chance. It raises profound questions about the origins of the text and the possibility of an intentional, mathematical blueprint. Together, they point to a system of immense complexity and harmony, where every number, every pattern, and every structure seems to serve a greater purpose, inviting us to look beyond the surface and seek the wisdom hidden within. The Mathani theory looks beyond single numbers to the elegant relationships between them, sequences and sums that create a cohesive structure. For example, adding all chapter numbers from 1 to 114 yields 6,555. Its digits sum to 21. The total number of verses, 6,236, sums to 17. Researchers create tables pairing chapter numbers with verse counts, generating new sequences to analyze for patterns. These sequences often reveal sums that are multiples of 19, reinforcing the idea of intentional design. The repeating, fractal-like nature of these patterns, mirrored at different scales, suggests a system too intricate for random chance. The harmony found in these interlocking relationships is what gives the theory its compelling power. The Mathani, or repeating nature, becomes clear patterns echo across word counts, chapter numbers, and verse sequences. It's a mathematical poetry woven through the sacred text. Human error is part of every scientific quest, and it's no different when analyzing the Quran's numbers. The Mathani theory claims the Quran's mathematical structure is error-free, a divine signature, while our attempts to decode it are fallible. A single digit out of place would disrupt the intricate patterns, much like a sour note in a symphony. The survival of these patterns over centuries is presented as evidence of a protected, unaltered text. Like Ramanujan's insight into the number 1729, what seems ordinary may hold deep significance. The absence of dull numbers in key positions is seen as a hallmark of design. When researchers make mistakes, the patterns break. When corrected, harmony returns, strengthening the conviction of an objective system. The Quran's mathematical integrity stands in contrast to our own fallibility, suggesting a source of extraordinary precision. The most famous and controversial claim is Code 19, a theory that the number 19 is the Quran's mathematical key. Chapter 74 references Over it are 19, which proponents take as a literal clue. The Quran's 114 chapters, 19x6, the 19-letter opening phrase, and the frequency of certain words and letters all align with multiples of 19. Even the mysterious Quranic initials, letters that prefix 29 chapters, show patterns based on 19. For example, the letter Qaf appears 57 times, 3x19, in its chapter. Other initials show similar multiples. Code 19's claims are precise and polarizing, sparking debate over methodology and accuracy. Regardless, it's a powerful example of how modern technology can reveal hidden layers in ancient texts. It pushes us to consider the possibility of a deeper, mathematical order embedded in Scripture. When we connect the evidence, word counts, sums, key primes, and sequences, a grand tapestry emerges. The Mathani theory suggests the Quran's structure and message are intertwined, with mathematics as a silent language of order and intent. For believers, these patterns are a divine fingerprint. For skeptics, they're an intellectual puzzle. The complexity challenges the idea that such a system could arise by chance, inviting scientific and historical inquiry. Ultimately, the theory asks us to see the Quran as a multidimensional object, with hidden architecture as profound as its message. Whether miracle, anomaly, or literary genius, the exploration itself is enriching. It weaves mathematics, spirituality, and mystery into a single compelling narrative. We've explored the Mathani theory, from foundational digits to the structural pillars of 19, 37, and 57. We've seen how these patterns create a tapestry of meaning, mathematics, and mystery. The true value lies not in final answers, but in the act of questioning and wonder. Whether divine design or statistical marvel, these patterns invite us to engage with the Quran in new ways. The search for patterns is a fundamentally human drive, fueling science, art, and our connection to the universe. So keep looking for order. In nature, in texts, in the cosmos, the journey to understand is endless, and the rewards are a deeper appreciation for the intricate, mysterious world we inhabit. Keep looking up and keep looking closer. Deep learning for the layman, understanding the Mathani theory and the Quran's numerical patterns. Introduction. What is deep learning and why does it matter? Imagine teaching a computer to think a bit like a human brain, learning from examples to find patterns in complex data. That's what deep learning is, a type of artificial intelligence, AI, where computers use layers of interconnected neurons to analyze information, much like how we recognize faces or understand language. In this article, we'll explore how deep learning could help us uncover hidden numerical patterns in the Quran, a sacred text revered by Muslims, through the lens of the Mathani theory. This theory suggests the Quran contains deliberate mathematical structures, like sums and sequences, that reflect a divine design. Think of deep learning as a super smart librarian who can spot patterns in a massive library of books. Instead of books, we're looking at numbers and structures in the Quran, such as the number of verses or specific counts of words. By simplifying the complex ideas in the Mathani theory, numerical patterns and divine design in the Quran, we'll see how AI could help reveal these patterns in a way anyone can understand. What is the Mathani theory? The Mathani theory is like a treasure map for finding mathematical patterns in the Quran. The word Mathani comes from a Quranic verse, 1587, and is often linked to the 7 verses of Surah Al-Fatiha, the Quran's opening chapter. But the theory goes further, suggesting that numbers like 1 to 9, their sums, for example, 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, and special numbers like 19, 37, and 57 are woven into the Quran's structure, showing a divine order. For example, the Quran has 30 sections called juz, and the last 3, Juz 28:30, contain 57 chapters, called surahs. This number 57 is special because it's 19 times 3, and 19 is a significant number in the Quran, mentioned in Quran 74:30. The theory also looks at sums like 1 plus 2 equals 3 and 8 plus 9 equals 17, which add up to 45, matching the sum of numbers 1 to 9. These patterns aren't random. They're like a hidden code that deep learning could help us explore. How could deep learning help? Deep learning is great at finding patterns in huge data sets, like recognizing faces in photos or predicting the next word in a sentence. In the context of the Mathani theory, we could use deep learning to spot numerical patterns. Analyze the Quran's text to count verses, words, or numbers. For example, the word day appears 365 times, like days in a year. Check structures. Examine the 57 surahs in Juz 28:30 or the 7 verses of Al-Fatiha to confirm patterns like sums or sequences. Fix mistakes. Correct human errors, like when someone mistook 289 for 892. The correct math is 117 to A289 and 892 Al-Shain 7921, or confuse 21 with 1729, a special number known as a Ramanujan number, 93 plus 103 1729. Explore connections. Find links between numbers like 19, a key number in the Quran, and mathematical ideas like Pythagorean triples, for example, 32 plus 42 Al-Shain 52. Imagine deep learning as a detective, sifting through the Quran's 114 surahs and thousands of verses to find these numerical clues, making sense of them faster and more accurately than humans alone could. Breaking down the math. Simple examples. Let's make the math easy to grasp. Numbers 1 to 9. Add them up. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals sign 45. Now look at specific sums. 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 5 by itself, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17. Add these results. 3 plus 7 plus 5 plus 13 plus 17 equals sign 45. It's the same total, showing a balanced pattern, like a perfectly designed puzzle. Number 5 as the center. In the sequence 1 to 9, 5 is the middle number, symbolizing balance. In Islam, balance is key. For example, 5 daily prayers. And deep learning could confirm if 5 appears in other significant ways in the Quran. Pythagorean triples. The numbers 3, 4, and 5 work in the equation 32 plus 4 2 onward 5 2. 9 plus 16 equals 25. This relates to sums like 3 plus 4 equals 7, which ties to the 7 verses of Al-Fatiha. Special number 19. The Quran mentions 19 in Surah 74, 30, and 57 surahs in Juz 28. 30 divide neatly as 19x3. Deep learning could search for other instances of 19 in the text. Ramanujan number 1729. This number, 93 plus 103 Al-1729, was mistaken for 21 in early studies. Deep learning could verify if 1729 has symbolic meaning in the Quran's structure. These examples show how numbers create a kind of mathematical music in the Quran, and deep learning could help us hear it more clearly. Correcting errors with deep learning. Humans make mistakes, like typing 289 instead of 892 plus 7921, or thinking 1 times 7 equals 1 instead of 1 times 7 equals 7. Deep learning can double-check calculations and patterns to ensure accuracy. For instance, error. Someone wrote 8 plus 9 equals 89. Fix. Deep learning confirms 8 plus 9 equals 17. Error. 43 plus 32 25. Fix. Deep learning corrects it to 42 plus 32 25. 16 plus 9 equals 25. Error. 21 equals sign 1729. Fix. Deep learning clarifies 1729 is a unique number, 93 plus 103, 3t plus 123, not equal to 21. By catching these typos, deep learning ensures we're seeing the Quran's true mathematical beauty, free from human slip-ups. Why does this matter? The Mathani theory suggests the Quran isn't just a spiritual guide, but also a mathematical masterpiece, with patterns that point to a divine intelligence. Deep learning can help us explore these patterns, making them accessible to everyone, not just scholars or mathematicians. It's like using a high-powered microscope to see the intricate details of a beautiful painting. This approach also bridges science and spirituality. By showing how numbers like 19, 57, or even 1729 might connect to the Quran's structure, deep learning could spark curiosity in both religious and non-religious readers. It could inspire new ways to study sacred texts, blending faith with cutting-edge technology. Challenges and what's next. Deep learning isn't perfect. It needs lots of data and careful setup to avoid mistakes. The Mathani theory focuses on specific numbers, 19, 19, 37, 57, and parts of the Quran, Juz 28, 30, so we'd need to decide what to analyze. Plus, some patterns, like the role of 1729, are still speculative and need more research. In the future, deep learning could map all 114 surahs for more patterns, analyze word repetitions or verse counts across the entire Quran, Test if numbers like 1729 have deeper symbolic meaning. Conclusion: a new way to see the Quran. The Mathani theory reveals a fascinating side of the Quran, where numbers like 5, 7, and 19 create a hidden harmony. Deep learning is like a powerful tool that can help us uncover these patterns, correct mistakes, and share the Quran's mathematical beauty with the world. Whether you're a believer, a math enthusiast, or just curious, this blend of AI and sacred text invites us to explore the divine through the lens of numbers. Book, The Mathani Theory, Numerical Patterns and Divine Design in the Quran. Preface. The Quran, revered by over 1.9 billion Muslims as the infallible word of God, Quran 15:9, is a text of unparalleled depth, blending spiritual guidance with intellectual complexity. The term Mathani, Quran 15:87, 7 of the oft repeated, has sparked fascination among scholars, suggesting not only Surah Al-Fatiha's 7 verses, but also paired structures and numerical patterns. The Mathani theory, introduced in this book, explores these patterns through numbers 1 to 9, sums, for example, 1 plus 2 equals 3, 8 plus 9 equals 17, and significant Quranic numbers like 19, 37, and 57. Human errors in interpreting these patterns, such as mistaking 289 for 892 or 21 for 1729, are corrected. For example, 892 plus 7, 921, 1729 as 93 plus 103, to affirm the Quran's mathematical precision. This book aims to bridge mathematics, Quranic studies, and theology, offering insights for scholars, mathematicians, and general readers seeking to understand the Quran's divine design. Chapter 1. Introduction to the Mathani Theory. 1.1. The Quran as a mathematical and spiritual text. The Quran is a spiritual guide and a linguistic marvel, preserved without alteration since its revelation in the 7th century, Quran 15:9. Beyond its theological significance, scholars have noted mathematical patterns, such as the repetition of words, verses, and numerical structures. For example, the word day, yom, appears 365 times in its singular form, mirroring the solar year. This chapter introduces the idea that the Quran embeds mathematical harmony, which the Mathani theory seeks to explore through numbers and structures. 1.2. Defining the Mathani theory. The Mathani theory posits that the Quran's structure integrates numerical patterns, for example, sums of 1 to 9 Pythagorean triples, with textual elements, for example, 57 surahs in Juz 28:30, Al-Fatiha's 7 verses. The term Mathani, Quran 15:87, is interpreted as paired verses, surahs, or numbers reflecting divine order. Errors like 289 equal sign 892 or 21 equal sign 1729 are human typos, corrected to 892 + 7921 and 1729 as a Ramanujan number, aligning with the Quran's perfection. 1.3 Objectives of the study. The study aims to analyze numerical patterns using numbers 1 to 9 and their sums. 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 5, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17. Connect these to Quranic structures, particularly Juz 28:30 and the Mathani concept. Correct errors, for example, 1 times 7 equals 1 to 1 times 7 equals 7, 289 equals sign 892 to 892 to 7921, 21 equals sign 1729 to 1729's properties. Explore links to number 19, Pythagorean triples, and 1729. 1.4 Scope and limitations. This book focuses on Juz 28:30 and numbers 1 to 9, 19, 37, 57, and 1729. It does not cover all Quranic numerical patterns due to the vastness of the topic. The Mathani theory is a hypothesis, subject to scholarly debate, and relies on interpretations of Mathani and Code 19. Chapter 2. Numerical Patterns in the Quran. 2.1. The sequence of numbers 1 to 9. The numbers 1 to 9 form the basis of the Mathani theory's numerical framework. Their sum, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals sign 45, mirrors the sum of the sequence 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 5, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17, 3 plus 7 plus 5 plus 13 plus 17 equals sign 45. This symmetry suggests a deliberate design, using all digits exactly once in the sequence. 2.2 Sums and their significance. The sums: 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17. Create pairs, aligning with the Mathani concept, doubles or pairs. The standalone number 5, unpaired, acts as a pivot, reflecting balance. These sums are not arbitrary but connect to Quranic structures, such as the 7 verses of Al-Fatiha. 2.3. The role of the number 5 as median. The number 5, the median of 1 to 9, symbolizes balance in the sequence. In the Quran, balance is a recurring theme. For example, Quran 55:7, He raised the sky and set the balance. The number 5 also appears in the 5 daily prayers, reinforcing its significance in Islamic practice and the Mathani theory. 2.4. Mathematical balance and Quranic harmony. The sum of 45, both from 1 to 9 and the sequence sums, reflects mathematical harmony. This chapter explores how such patterns suggest a divine intelligence, with numbers acting as a universal language to convey the Quran's perfection. Chapter 3. Quranic structure and the Mathani concept. 3.1 Juz 28:30. Structural overview. Juz 28:30 of the Quran contain 9, 11, and 37 surahs respectively, totaling 57 surahs. This structure is significant, as 57 is divisible by 19, 57 equals 19 times 3, aligning with Code 19, Quran 74:30. This subchapter details the composition of these juz, emphasizing their numerical coherence. 3.2. The significance of 57 surahs. The number 57 connects to the Mathani theory through its divisibility by 19, a number associated with divine structure. The breakdown, 9 plus 11 plus 37 equals 57, reflects a triadic pattern, mirroring other Quranic divisions, such as the 30 juz of the Quran. 3.3 Surah Al-Fatiha and the 7 Mathani Surah Al-Fatiha with 7 verses is traditionally called the 7 Mathani, Quran 15:87. This subchapter explores its role as the cornerstone of the Mathani theory, with its verses symbolizing completeness and its numerical properties tying to the sums. For example, 3 plus 4 equals 7. 3.4 Paired structures and the concept of Mathani literally means doubles or pairs. Beyond Al-Fatiha, this subchapter examines paired surahs, for example, Surah 2 and 3, and numerical pairs, for example, 1 plus 2, 8 plus 9, in the Quran, suggesting that the Mathani theory extends to both textual and numerical duality. Chapter 4. Mathematical relationships and error, correction. 4.1 Pythagorean triples in the Mathani framework. The equations 3 plus 4 equals 7 and 2 plus 5 equals 7 relate to the Pythagorean triple 32 plus 4 2 plus 5 2. 9 plus 16 equals 25. This subchapter explores how such triples symbolize mathematical harmony, reflecting the Quran's structured design. 4.2. The number 49 and its Quranic ties. The number 49, 72, connects to 6 plus 7 equals 13 equals 4 plus 9, tying to the 7 Mathani. This subchapter examines 49's appearances in the Quran, for example, Surah 42:49, and its role in reinforcing the theory's numerical framework. 4.3. The Ramanujan, number 1729. The number 1729, a Ramanujan number, 93 plus 3 plus 123, was mistakenly equated to 21 in the original paper. This subchapter clarifies 1729's unique properties and explores its potential symbolic significance, despite not being directly Quranic. 4.4 Correcting human errors in equations. Human errors in the original analysis include 1 times 7 equals 1, corrected to 1 times 7 equals 7, Al-Fatiha's 7 verses. 43 plus 32 is 25, corrected to 42 plus 32 is 25, 16 plus 9 equals 25, 289 equals 892, corrected to 117 282 89, 892 7991, Surah 89. 21 equals 1729, corrected to recognize 1729 as a distinct number. 8 plus 9 equals 89, corrected to 8 plus 9 equals 17. This subchapter details the correction process, treating errors as typos or permutations. 4.5 Implications of error correction. Correcting these errors aligns the Mathani theory with the Quran's error-free nature. This subchapter discusses how such corrections strengthen the theory's credibility and highlight the importance of precision in numerical analysis. Chapter 5. The Role of Code. 19.5.1. Historical context of Code 19, introduced by Rashad Khalifa. Code 19 posits that the number 19 is a structural marker in the Quran, Quran 74:30. This subchapter outlines Khalifa's findings, such as the 19-letter Bismillah in 19 surahs, 5.2 number 19 in Juz 28:30, the 57 surahs in Juz 28:30, 1983, and 19 as the middle number in Juz 30's 37 surahs highlight its significance. This subchapter analyzes these occurrences, linking them to the Mathani theory. 5.3 Code 19 as a marker of divine origin. Code 19 suggests a mathematical signature of divine authorship. This subchapter explores how 19's recurrence supports the Quran's claim of inimitability, Quran 17:88. 5.4 Critiques and support for Code 19. While controversial, Code 19 has supporters and critics. This subchapter examines debates, acknowledging limitations while affirming its relevance to the Mathani theory. Chapter 6. Discussion and Implications. 6.1 Synthesis of Mathematical and Quranic Patterns. The Mathani theory integrates numbers 5, 7, 19, 37, and 57 with Quranic structures. This subchapter synthesizes these findings, showing how sums, triples, and surah counts form a cohesive system. 6.2 Theological Implications of the Mathani theory. The theory reinforces the Quran's divine origin, suggesting numerical patterns as a form of divine communication. This subchapter explores implications for Islamic theology and apologetics. 6.3 Interdisciplinary Applications. The Mathani theory bridges mathematics, religious studies, and number theory. This subchapter discusses its potential in education, interfaith dialogue, and computational analysis of sacred texts. 6.4 Limitations and Future Research. The theory is a hypothesis, limited to specific numbers and juz. This subchapter suggests future research into other Quranic numbers, for example, 114 surahs, or computational modeling of patterns. Chapter 7. Conclusions 7.1. Summary of Findings. The Mathani theory reveals the Quran's numerical perfection through sums, totaling 45, 57 surahs, and Al-Fatihah's 7 verses. Corrected errors, for example 892 7921 1729 is 93 plus 103, affirm this coherence. 7.2 Contributions to Quranic and Mathematical Studies. This book contributes a novel framework for understanding Quranic structure, blending mathematics and spirituality. It offers a model for interdisciplinary research. 7.3 Final Reflections. The Quran's numerical patterns invite awe and exploration. The Mathani theory is a step toward uncovering its divine design, encouraging further study and reflection. Appendices. Appendix A. Detailed mathematical calculations. Sum of 1 to 9, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals sine 45. Sequence sums. 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 5, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17, total equals sine 45. Pythagorean triple, 3 2 plus 4 2 8 5 2, 9 plus 16 equals 25. Corrected equations, 1 17 2 8 2 8 9, 8 9 2 8 7 9 2 1, 17 2 9, 9 3 plus 1 3, 3 t plus 1 23. Number 49, 7 2 and 4 9, 6 plus 7 equals sine 13 equals sine 4 plus 9. Appendix B. Quranic references and exegesis. Quran 15, 87. 7 of the oft-repeated, Al-Fatihah. Quran 15, 9. Preservation of the Quran. Quran 74, 30. Over it are 19. Appendix C. Glossary of terms. Mathani, paired or oft-repeated verses surahs. Code 19. Numerical pattern based on 19. Pythagorean triple. Numbers satisfying A2 plus B2 C2. Book. The Mathani Theory, Numerical Patterns, and Divine Design in the Quran Preface. The Quran, revered by Muslims as the infallible word of God, is a text of profound spiritual and intellectual depth. This book explores the Mathani theory, a framework that uncovers numerical and structural patterns within the Quran, revealing a divine design through numbers like 1 to 9, 19, 37, and 57. Inspired by the term Mathani, Quran 15, 87, this theory connects mathematical sequences, such as sums and Pythagorean triples, to the Quran's structure, particularly in Juz 28:30. Human errors in interpreting these patterns, for example, equating 289 to 892 or 21 to 1729, are corrected to affirm the Quran's perfection. This book aims to bridge mathematics and spirituality, offering insights for scholars, mathematicians, and curious readers. Chapter 1. Introduction to the Mathani Theory. The Quran, preserved without error, Quran 15:9, is a masterpiece of divine revelation. The term Mathani, Quran 15:87, 7 of the oft-repeated, has been interpreted as Surah al-Fatihah's 7 verses, paired surahs, or numerical patterns. The Mathani theory proposes that the Quran embeds mathematical harmony reflected in sums. For example, 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 8 plus 9 equals 17, Quranic structures, for example, 57 surahs in Juz 28:30, and numbers like 19 and 17:29. Human errors, such as mistaking 289 for 892 or 21 for 1729, are typos that, when corrected, for example 892 plus 7921 1729 as 93 plus 103, align with the Quran's flawless design. Objectives: analyze numerical patterns using numbers 1 to 9 and their sums. Connect these to Quranic structures, particularly Juz 28:30 and Mathani. Correct errors, for example 1 times 7 equals 1 to 1 times 7 equals 7, 289 equals sign 892 to 892 plate 7921, 21 equals sign 1729 to 1729's properties. Explore links to number 19, Pythagorean triples, and 1729. Chapter 2, Numerical Patterns in the Quran. The sequence 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 5, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17 uses numbers 1 to 9, with results summing to 45, 3 plus 7 plus 5 plus 13 plus 17, matching the sum of 1 to 9, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals sign 45. The number 5 as the median suggests balance. These sums form pairs, for example 1 plus 2, 3 plus 4, resonating with the Quranic term Mathani, doubles or pairs. This chapter explores how these patterns reflect a deliberate numerical design, laying the foundation for deeper Quranic connections. Chapter 3, Quranic Structure and the Mathani Concept. The Quran structure is meticulous, particularly in Juz 28:30, which contain 9, 11, and 37 surahs respectively, totaling 57 surahs. 57 equals 19 times 3. Juz 30, with 37 surahs, has 19 as the middle number in the sequence 1 to 37, reinforcing the significance of 19. Quran 74:30. The Mathani concept traditionally refers to Al-Fatihah's 7 verses, but extends to paired sums and structures. This chapter examines how these elements align with the Mathani theory, highlighting the Quran's structural perfection. Chapter 4, Mathematical Relationships and Error. Correction. Mathematical harmony underpins the Mathani theory. Key relationships include Pythagorean, triple, 3 plus 4 equals 7 and 2 plus 5 equals 7 relate to 32 plus 4, 2 plus 5, 2. 9 plus 16 equals 25. Number 49, 72 alt 49 and 6 plus 7 equals sign 13 equals sign 4 plus 9. Connect to the 7 Mathani. 1729, a Ramanujan number, 93 plus 103, see 3t plus 123, symbolically significant. Error corrections. 1 times 7 equals 1, corrected to 1 times 7 equals 7. Al-Fatihah's 7 verses. 43 plus 3, 2 will 25, corrected to 42 plus 3, 2 will 25. 16 plus 9 equals 25. 289 equals sign 892, corrected to 117 28289 899287921. Surah 89 in Juz 30. 21 equals sign 1729, corrected to recognize 1729 as a distinct number, not equal to 21 or 7921. 8 plus 9 equals 89, corrected to 8 plus 9 equals 17. These corrections resolve human typos, ensuring mathematical and Quranic consistency. Chapter 5, The Role of Code, 19. The number 19 is a structural marker in the Quran, Quran 74:30, the 57 surahs in Juz 28:30, 1983, and the middle position of 19 in Juz 30's 37 surahs underscore its significance. This chapter explores how Code 19, popularized by Rashad Khalifa, aligns with the Mathani theory, reinforcing the Quran's divine origin through numerical patterns. Chapter 6, Discussion and Implications. The Mathani theory reveals a synergy between mathematical patterns, for example, sums of 1 to 9, Pythagorean triples, and Quranic elements, for example, 7 verses, 57 surahs. Numbers 5, 7, 19, and 37 reflect a balanced design, while corrections of errors, for example 892 Pashi 7921 1729's properties, affirm the Quran's perfection. The number 1729, though not directly Quranic, may hold symbolic value. This chapter discusses implications for Quranic studies, mathematics, and interdisciplinary research. Chapter 7. Conclusion. The Mathani theory illuminates the Quran's numerical and structural perfection through patterns like sums totaling 45, 57 surahs, and Al-Fatihah's 7 verses. Correcting human errors, for example, 289 equals sign 892 to 892 plot 7921, 21 equals sign 1729 to 1729's properties, reveals a coherent system linking mathematical harmony, for example 32 plus 42 plitch phi 2, to divine design, for example 19 times 3 equals 57. Future research could explore additional patterns or 1729's role in this context. Appendices. Appendix A. Detailed mathematical calculations. Sum of 1 to 9, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals sign 45. Sequence sums, 1 plus 2 equals 3, 3 plus 4 equals 7, 5, 6 plus 7 equals 13, 8 plus 9 equals 17, total equals sign 45. Pythagorean triple 32 plus 42 and 5 2, 9 plus 16 equals 25. Corrected equations, 117 to 8289 892 7921, 172993 plus 103 3t plus 1 3. Number 49 72 149 6 plus 7 equals sign 13 equals sign 4 plus 9. Appendix B. Quranic references. Quran 15, 87. 7 of the oft repeated. Quran 15, 9. Preservation of the Quran. Quran 74, 30. Reference to 19.